On today's episode, we rate if certain players will return in 2023. The Cubs defeat the Marlins behind some strong pitching and some fan feedback. That's all ahead on this exciting edition of Locked On Cubs.
Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into Locked On Cubs alongside Sam Olbrine, Matt Cozy. Happy Wednesday to you, or whenever you may be listening. Maybe you're catching it up on Apple or Spotify. You could catch us there and wherever you get your pods, and also the video version on YouTube. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. As we highlighted, what?
It's an honor.
It's an honor. It's a privilege. It is an honor and a privilege. And as we talked about for Tuesday's episode, is it an honor and a privilege to watch the current Cubs lineup? Maybe not. Maybe not. But as diehard fans, that's something we're trying to navigate as we're in the midst and the depths, really, of the stretch run. And the Cubs are in Miami through Wednesday. We're going to get to that, though, later in the show. What we want to introduce today is a topic that we're going to carry over really between now and the next two Wednesdays when the season ends, and really do this anytime because there's currently 26 people on the roster, about where some of these dudes rank in terms of, hey, are they going to be back in 2023? If so, what could they do, or what could their role be potentially? So I think that's what we're thinking, right?
Yeah. Well, let me do some hosting for a change. I'm going to name a player. Here's what you're going to do. I'm going to name a player. You're going to tell me their percentage chance that they're A, on the opening day roster, and B, starting, right? So if I name a pitcher, like let's use Adrian Sampson, who was terrific again tonight. If I say Adrian Sampson, what's the percentage that he's on the roster next year? And what's the percentage that he's one of the 5 starting pitchers? Go ahead.
Roster, I would say 60%.
Yeah.
One of the 5 starters, I would say somewhere in the 30s.
Yeah, I'd probably say like 40% that he's on the roster, just because I think another team would have more use for him. And then I would say that he's one of the 5 starters. I'd probably say it's under 10%. Okay, we'll do 5 of them.
So you could see him being traded then. Is that what that means?
I'm not sure what his contract is. He tradable, or is he a free agent?
He's under team control, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that I could see him being traded.
Okay.
I really like the guy. I appreciate what he's done. It's just, who knows if that's.
Well, can I share this with you before we
absolutely.
This is from Tony Andracki from Marquee.
Yeah, sure.
Adrian Sampson has started against Corbin Burns, Jacob deGrom, and Pablo Lopez this season. In those 3 starts, he has a 1.02 ERA and a 1.08 WHIP. And the Cubs won all 3 games.
Geez. Yeah, no, he beat deGrom. I mean, doesn't get much better than that.
Doesn't get much better than random stats, but it is cool for him.
Right. I'm going to give another player out here. Let's go with Christopher Morel, Matthew.
Christopher Morel. Percentage chance that he's on the roster?
Yeah.
90?
Yeah, okay.
90% because...
And that he's starting?
Yeah, I just think that he's starting, I would say, a notch above 50, maybe like 55-ish. I think that it's clear that he could have a major league role. It's not as clear that he's a major league starter. His versatility helps him. His bat hurts him.
I'd say, yeah, I agree.
As currently constructed, I'm in the 90s for sure about making the club. And then just because of where we're at,
what was the percentage that you said that he'd start? I didn't hear that.
55.
Yeah, I would say
like 45 to 55.
I was going to say 90s on the roster, 50-50 starts.
Yeah.
Depends what they prioritize in free agency. Let's
but
go.
can't we say that about anybody when we do this?
Well, no, because I'll give you. How about Zach McKinstry?
Zach McKinstry. That's a hard one.
I would say it's drastically different than Morel. I'd say that there's about a 40% chance he's on the roster opening day, and if he's starting opening day, then I might become a Guardian fan.
Yeah, I would say you could do worse than that. I would say,
yeah, and hopefully they're winning against the Southsiders tonight.
Yeah, I would say 50% he makes it.
Yeah,
I would say 1% that he starts.
How about let's do two more, Matthew. Are you upset at me?
No, this is good.
Okay. Patrick Wisdom.
Patrick Wisdom, just because, and a lot of these guys are really in the same boat, Sam, but for what he does, and I shouldn't put does in quotes, but I just did if you're watching the video version. For what he does, he's a bargain. So for $700K, you actually probably keep him.
I don't think he's on the roster next year.
And so I would say like 70% chance he's on the roster.
I don't.
Percent chance starting, I would say slice that in half, 35.
I'd say 45% chance he's on the roster, and I'm going to say less than 10% that he's starting.
Okay.
No. You know what? I'll say, how about this? No. I'm going to say 45% chance he's on the roster and like a 35% chance he starts, because I think if he's on the roster, he probably starts. I don't really think he has much value as a bench piece, but I think they're going to get one of those middle infielders, and one of those guys is going to play third base.
So as a bat off the bench in a pinch or one or two starts a week, you think he brings little to no value?
Yeah, because he can't. You're going to hit late in the games and close games against good pitchers. He's going to strike out every time.
In that type of role, would you rather have McKinstry or Wisdom?
McKinstry.
Okay.
I'd rather have Rivas than Wisdom in that type of role.
Wow.
I want, for pinch hitters, you want guys that could just come in cold and put it at bat together, not guys that are just going to whiff.
I'm almost afraid to ask. Is that one listener of ours still updating you on Rivas?
I think so, yeah. But I like him, so.
Oh, okay.
He's a good guy. He's a good listener.
Yeah, well, it's good to have back and forth. It just seemed like it was pretty frequent.
No, yeah, he updates me almost every day. He has.
Okay.
I think now that he's cooled off a little bit, it might be a little bit less of an update.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, I got one more
player, right?
I got one more for you, Mateo.
Yeah.
Matthew, Matty Ice, Matty serves, Matty does, Matty goes. We're going to go with Drew, not my dad, Smiley.
Okay, so for tomorrow's show, for Thursday's show, I'm losing track of the days. I believe this would be for Thursday's show. I'm going to look into Drew Smiley's contract situation.
Sure.
But I think right now my instinct would say, because there's a discrepancy about his option.
Right.
That it hasn't been really made public. I would say team or mutual option or player option. I don't know which one it is. I would say 85% chance he's on the team. And
wow, Mateo Elizabeth Cozy.
And I would say, what the hell? Oh boy, is this going to be one of them shows? And I would say percentage chance of the starting rotation, right?
Yeah.
I would say 55, 60.
So I'd say 55, 60 that he's on the team, and then maybe like 40, 45 that he's a starter. And feel free, comment below what you think. I mean, these are just total guesses.
Yeah, those 5 players, let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know, and maybe shoot us a text as well. 312-834-4634. And also bring in questions. The last segment today, we're going to read off 3 comments/questions. We would love to hear from you. We're going to read it on the air.
Sure. All right.
That was fun.
I'm glad. I like your white shirt.
That was fun.
It's been a long day.
And
go Cubbies.
Yeah, it's interesting. You're making me think, which is always a good quality to have.
I like for the listeners sometimes to hear you. You know, I'm always doing I like you.
You don't have to explain it.
Yeah, well, good. Okay.
This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. The process is this. Sign up at bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part, it's all done online. So no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward convos, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the US of A and prepared and shipped direct to your door in a discreet package. So if you can benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform, chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code LOCKEDON at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code LOCKEDON to receive your first month free. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. We're back here on Locked On Cubs. The Cubs did defeat the Marlins on Tuesday night 2-1 in Miami. And Joe Girardi, a part of the broadcast this series as well, Sam.
How was he? I didn't listen to him.
As he remains down the hallway from the current manager. And so people could let us know how he did or how they view him now through two series that he's been in the booth and put on the headset. There was a couple. So here, let me ask you this.
Sure.
Because I asked you off air.
Oh, did you? Before the show started, we were talking about peanut butter and jelly.
Yes. One of the best sandwiches of all time.
Yeah.
In your mind, were there highlights from this game?
Well, David Bote had a home run. David Bote had a sac fly.
Okay.
Adrian Sampson pitched well. Alzolay pitched well. And Hughes pitched well. But that's the long answer. The short answer is no, I didn't.
Right. I think you listed the ones that I was going to clap back on, depending on what your answer was.
No, you were going to clap back because we were speaking on the phone, and you didn't like that I rolled my eyes and laughed at you when you said that Alzolay and Hughes could be building blocks for this state.
Well, we're going to work in a circle here.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to put the ball on a tee. Let's see if I can hit it to the back of the cage because you're pretty good. So Alzolay has 2 perfect innings. Granted, this is only his second appearance all year in the big leagues.
Right.
Okay. In terms of the Alzolay-Hughes combo, which happened today, or let's just take Alzolay right now. Why or why not do you think he could be a key contributor? Because especially if we see
key contributor and building block are 2 different things. We had this episode already.
No, key contributor is what I meant.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. He could be a key contributor for sure.
You think
for
so?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. We talked about it as a late inning guy, especially against righties, doing exactly what he did today, just getting outs, and Hughes coming in as a lefty and as a potential late inning guy. Well, I'll even go a step farther. I think that if the Cubs are going to be good next year, they have to be key contributors.
Okay.
Because they're not going to spend a lot of money on their bullpen. That's something
they shouldn't. I hope they don't.
Yeah, that's a waste. They're going to try and build that within.
Yeah.
And if they're going to be a good baseball club next year, those guys are going to have to take a step forward.
Yeah, and Alzolay as a piggyback is fine. You know, he went 2 innings today. Does a piggyback mean you have to go 3+ or 4 or 5?
No. He did his job.
And Hughes is it's just that he's a rookie. So to get to the key contributor status, it's tough. I would hold Alzolay in a higher standing.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just think Hughes is a key contributor right now. I mean, he's their best late inning reliever. I think he absolutely is going to be a key contributor next year. He's the guy that gets the ball in the ninth. I trust him more than Rowan Wick. You'd say Rowan Wick has
that happened a while ago, though.
No. I think both of those guys, but especially Hughes, is going to be a key contributor next year. He might. Okay. I mean, who's going to close?
Right.
It could be Hughes.
I think it might be.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think those guys I thought on the phone you were saying, like, hey, they're building pieces.
Well, how about this?
Yeah, go Cubs.
Do nights like tonight.
And shout out to Bet Online. The Bears got bumped up to a field goal. I'll be taking that. Bears -3 on Sunday.
Wait, what do you mean bumped up?
It was 2.5.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yikes. Okay,
yeah,
interesting.
No, I
That's something that I just learned that.
I had the same reaction. It's not good.
Okay.
But I'm going to be taking them.
Interesting.
Because if you notice, week 1, I gave out betting advice. And week 2, I took a pass. Week 3, I'm back. Bears -3. Keep going. Sorry.
And that's another orange shirt, I do believe.
Yeah, it is. I've been wearing a lot of orange.
That's
lately.
2 in 3 days.
Yeah.
So, what were we talking about?
We were talking about Hughes and Alzolay. I said building blocks, and then you said that you thought it was key contributors.
Oh yeah, you're gonna recap the whole thing. Yeah, that's cool. That's
cool.
No,
because you were about to make a point.
Hey, but here's my thing with you.
Yeah, sure. You got a lot of them.
Do you include today's performances in your conversation? Because it sounds like the other day you were quick to dismiss. You're like, oh, none of the rest of the season doesn't matter. Yeah. Or were you just addressing wins and losses? I asked a leading question there. I shouldn't.
No, it's a fantastic question.
From a fantastic host.
Yeah, right. No, absolutely.
Here's the basketball. Go shoot it.
It's a great question. The Frank Schwindel thing really popped in my head from last year. It's really bothered me of meaningless contributions not carrying over from one year to the next. But he's older. I would say it's a case by case, Matt. With somebody like Alzolay, with somebody like Hughes, I think all their reps matter. They're young. They're new to the game. I would say obviously wins and losses do not matter, but I would say case by case. For example, if Suzuki were still playing right now, I would be analyzing his at bats, right?
Yes.
There's for example, though, for me, like Bodie's success today does not mean anything to me. I feel like I've seen
good example.
I've seen enough of David Bodie, with all due respect, where I don't want him to be on my baseball team anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But with younger guys that are still fresh, like an Alzolay who hasn't played at all this year, pitched, and with Brandon Hughes, I think any sort of experience is valuable, and you could judge them off that. Like him in a 1-run game in the big leagues today with a man on second, no outs, getting out of that inning to save that game. I think there's some value in that. Yeah, at any time.
Got it. Yeah, I think that's a great perspective there. We're going to get some perspectives from some listeners coming up next. We're back here on Locked On Cubs, your first listen every day. I'm just realizing I didn't put in the first comment. I'm going to have to go get that real quick.
Sure.
We got some comments about Wrigley Field, specifically one part of it that you addressed the other day, and I think it got the people going. We are going to end here in the feedback zone.
What did I say?
It was about the shadows.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's see here. This is from the 323.
Where's that?
Turn on?
Where's 323?
City of Los Angeles, according to the Google machine.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
That's really cool.
Name or no?
No name. That's why why I gave the area code.
Okay, sorry.
It's like we're the score. Right. I would love to get names. We always read names. So from the 323, pretty cool.
Yes, sir.
Pretty cool. Shout out to LA.
Yeah,
why can't they just turn the lights on?
Yeah, I think they do. I think somebody commented that on YouTube too.
That they did do it on Sunday, I thought.
I think they do that. I think it helps a little bit. I think it's the best.
They try to make it help. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they do that, to answer the question, but I don't think it helps. It doesn't change the change the fact that you can't see for 9 outs.
Yeah, it doesn't change much of the composition.
Look, it was, I was just there's no solution to it. I mean, the Cubs aren't going to change the time that they play games. They've been playing at the same time forever. So,
right. 120.
Right.
Hey, Big Rand is checking in via text.
Big Rand's my guy. Let me tell you something about Big Rand. Not only does he provide?
Let me tell you something about Big Red.
No, seriously.
Another classic quote.
No, but let me tell you something. Not only does he give us great Cubs content, he's always the first defense when somebody comes at me in the comments. Like somebody was making fun of me the other day because like I got bad allergies, so sometimes I have to itch myself during the show. And
a lot of people putting you on trial.
Yeah, so somebody said I was gross, or I'm picking my nose, or I'm annoyed, and he always comes to my defense. You know, you never know what people are dealing with, folks. So try not to attack their physical appearance. But anyways, Big Rand's my guy.
Okay, and I love that. Big Rand says, just heard on the Cubs broadcast as they were talking about the rule changes for next year that the walk-up songs for the players are going to be limited to 10 seconds. First of all, this is me cutting in. I haven't heard that. I would have to do my due diligence on it. Let's go back to Big Rand as I hit my mic.
Is this a YouTube comment or a text?
No, this is a text from him.
Because one of my buddies, shout out Jeff, said that he left a voicemail on our voicemail line and that we never have played it.
Well, I need to still look into that.
Oh,
I haven't gotten any recent voicemails though. I will say that.
Okay.
Yeah. Eric in South Carolina was the last one with the Sosa one.
Right.
I thought they were trying to get the younger generation more interested in this game. So does this mean that the playing of the trumpet with Diaz for the Mets coming in from the bullpen will be limited to 10 seconds? I hate the Mets, not as much as the Cardinals, but if you haven't seen Diaz coming in from the pen to save the game, it's one of the coolest things out there.
Yeah.
Could you imagine them in the World Series? Diaz comes in, the place would be rocking. Am I wrong? Isn't this good for baseball? Close quote.
My answer to that is I think a pitching entrance and a hitting is two different things. The entering in between innings is not going to affect the pace of play. So I don't think that they would limit that. I think they're only talking about like walk-up songs where you don't want to wait till the walk-up song ends because it takes enough time. I think the whole thing's absurd. So, you know, it makes no difference to me at all. But to answer that specific point, I think those are two different cases. That's in between innings. I don't think that's going to waste much time.
Yeah, it would make sense that your rival to home plate's about 10 seconds, especially if there's nobody on, because then
they're not. No one. Clock. If enough, they better let the trumpet thing play.
They better. If they don't, that's a disgrace.
Yeah, no kidding.
And it is bad for baseball. We do need more stuff like that, and that's coming from a coach.
Yeah, and what else is bad for baseball is that the last two nights, David Bodie and Yan Gomes have hit third for our team. Carry on. That's bad for baseball.
From Bryce in Iowa.
I don't think Yan Gomes would hit third on my softball team.
Oh, another Yan Gomes rip.
No, it's not. It's just.
But you said he wouldn't hit for Double-A the other night.
Who's this guy, Corez?
Oh, yeah, Esteban Quiroz.
I don't want him hitting second on my softball team.
You didn't even know who that was.
Did you?
Not really.
Jeez.
And you don't have a softball game this week, huh?
Yeah, it got canceled. I'm not really sure why. I haven't made an out since.
It's a disgrace.
Let me tell you, I haven't made an out since Gerald Ford pardoned Richard Nixon.
And there it is. Well, maybe instead you could eat some PB&J. All right.
That's what I'm going to do after this show. It's at 9:30 Central Time. I'm going to watch the Pale Hose and the Guardians.
From Bryce in Iowa, I'm with you guys on giving praise to fans that are still watching this team on a daily basis.
Shut up.
I have to waste 3.5 hours every Saturday watching the pathetic excuse of what is called the Iowa Hawkeye offense. So for me to suffer through a couple hours of watching this lineup get beat down by other AAA rosters day in and day out would kill my marriage. So kudos to the diehard Cubs fans sticking through this year.
Hey, Bryce, let me tell you something. I'm not that smart of a guy at all, but I'm not stupid. If I kept track of all the time I've wasted watching bad Cubs teams, I could have cured serious diseases. I could have been a graduate. I could have been a graduate of Harvard Law. I sit around here night after night, and it's not just because of the show. I did it anyway. And I watch this team over and over again. I mean, Matt's seen it firsthand. I've ruined Saturday nights over this team losing games.
Amen.
Let me tell you this. I would be married if it wasn't for the Cubs.
Holy cow. That's a huge
I would be.
revelation.
Do you know how many nights I've said, "Hey Sam, you want to come out and we're at Bush tonight?" If you've ever seen the movie, if you've ever seen the movie Fever Pitch with Jimmy Fallon,
yeah,
that's me with the Cubs. Wow. Sam, come on, we're having a big, even in high school, Matt, even in high school. Hey, Sam, we're having a big party tonight. Yeah, absolutely. And I know we're 14 out, but we're playing at Miller Park, so I'll get there about 10:30 Central. You know, I graduated high school in 2012, so this is like what our worst season ever. You know, oh yeah, no, absolutely. But we're a Great American today. Castro might go deep opposite field, so I'll catch you after.
Oh man, we got to get out of here again. Oh boy. We got to get going. All right. Breaking news to finish the show, though. The South Bend Cubs did tie up the Midwest League Championship Series.
PCA at a home run, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, and Alexander Canario hit his first 2 home runs at the AAA level tonight.
Let's go. Come on. Always good to keep tabs on that. So the deciding Game 3 of the Midwest League World Series will be Wednesday night, so we'll have an update for you on that.
And it's still 1-0 Guardians as we speak on the South Side.
What inning is that in? Do we know?
That's going to be top 6. So right after this, we're going to watch it. We're going to watch the remainder of that tilt.
All right, we got to get going. Thanks everybody for listening. Another just fantastic program here. Be sure to hit the subscribe button for Locked On Cubs on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your pods. Drop us a text, like all those great individuals did, at 312-834-4634. And thanks for making us your first listen every day. For your second listen, how about Locked On MLB and the Game to Game podcast, YouTube, and wherever you get your pods. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.